Well, the Cardinals have been winning here in the Quaker state of Pennsylvania. And tonight they go for the sweep. It would be the first time a 4-game sweep against the Pirates in Pittsburgh since 1971. The scene is PNC Park. It's the Cards and Pirates in Game 4 of this 4-game series. With Al Hrabowski, my name is Dan McLaughlin. We welcome you to PNC Park here in Pittsburgh. Great to have you with us along the television network. The last 4 games, Al, the hits have just been coming. This lineup has been outstanding. They're averaging close to 9 runs a game, and really it started with Scott Rowland, that 3-run home run the other night.
Well, it was just too good of an offense for it to stay down for such a long period of time. I don't know if it's quite as good as this, as we've seen in this series, the first 3 games. 26 runs scored. Every inning the Cardinals have scored at least 1 run. It's just been a hit parade. As a team, they've hit 374.
Chris Benson will be the pitcher for the Pirates tonight. Former #1 pick back in 1996. Luther Hackman for St. Louis, and Luther really takes the challenge of being a starter and likes this role.
Well, he had done that in the minor leagues. Luther had been a starter. He's a big, strong guy. He has the pitches. It's just trying to get the stamina. And probably the toughest inning for him is going to be the first, and then probably his last inning. And hopefully there'll be a lot of innings in between. But Chris Benson, as you mentioned, he set out all last year with the reconstruction elbow surgery. He's not 100% right now. He's got very good stuff, but he makes enough mistakes. The Cardinals should continue to have good offense.
So it's a pair of right-handers here tonight. Hackman against Benson. Cards and Pirates. The sweep. Let's hope so. It's next on WB11. Cardinals baseball on WB11 is brought to you by Budweiser, delivering beer at its best with the crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beers. By your local St. Louis Chrysler Jeep dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Cardinals on WB11. By Dobbs Tire Auto Centers, St. Louis's #1 choice for tires and automotive service. And by Southwest Airlines, bringing people together with low fares. Beautiful night here at PNC Park in Pittsburgh as the Cardinals go for the sweep. Redbirds and Tony La Russa have won 5 straight and 6 of their last 7 contests. Let's take a look at Tony's lineup. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Same lineup as last night with the exception of the catcher. Vina, Drew Edmonds, Pujols, Roland Martinez, Renteria. He's been red hot. DeFelice is behind the plate. And then Luther Hackman will bat 9th and be on the mound for St. Louis. Let's take a look at the defense for the Pirates. It's brought to you by Dobbs. Craig Wilson is at first. Young is on the bench. Reese is also on the right side of the infield. Ramirez and Jack Wilson on the left side. Giles, Adam Heisdu, his first start in this series. He's in center. Armando Rios made a great play in right the other night. And Jason Kendall, 1 hit away from 1,000, is behind the plate. Our Chrysler Jeep starter is 27-year-old Chris Benson now.
All right, Chris Benson sat out all last season with the reconstruction elbow. He is 4-2 in his last 9 starts. He is 1-0 this year with a good ERA of 2.5 and 2 starts against the Cardinals. But former #1 draft pick in the country out of Clemson University.
In 1 start, Benson lasted 5 innings, the other 5 2/3. And as Al mentioned, 1-0 against the Cardinals this year. He's either great or he's not. Really not anywhere in between with Chris Benson this season.
He's not 100%, but one of the things the Cardinal hitters are going to find out that he will leave some pitches out over the plate for him.
Fernando Vina takes a ball at 7:06, and we're underway here in Pittsburgh.
Got a good fastball, good breaking ball. He's got the stuff, but he makes enough mistakes that the Cardinals, with their fine hitting and hot hitting shoes on now, should do some damage.
3 lefties to start the top of the order for the Cardinals. There's a strike in Vina, Drew, and Edmonds. The Cardinals come in 3rd best in the National League, team average of 267. Now Vina steps out of the box and is working on his jersey, it looks like, or maybe his hand. His batting gloves, it looked like there, Al. 1 ball, 1 strike on Fernando Vina. Here's Pokey Reese, his first chance, 1 away. That's how we start the ball game. A ground out by Fernando Vina.
2 of the first 3 pitches have been inside. Sometimes you'll see a pitcher is dominant on one side, inside the left-handers, away to the right-handers, the same zone.
Brings in J.D. Drew. Total of 6 players have bounced a homer into the Allegheny, including Rob Makoviak of the Pirates and J.D. Drew and Jim Edmonds of the Cardinals. And this is hit into center field, but Heisdu is there. 2 outs. Let's turn to our Suntrup Automotive Family Trivia question for tonight's ball game. When was the last time the Cards swept a 4-game series here in Pittsburgh?
A long time ago.
Yep. August 12th through the 15th, 1971.
That's exact 31 years ago.
Yep.
This
Bob Gibson had a no-hitter in the 14th of that series, you might recall. Cardinals, by the way, did sweep the Pirates last year in a 4-game series, but that was at Busch Stadium. Victory would extend the ball club's winning streak to a season best 6 games and their first 4-game series sweep of the 2002 season. 1 ball, 1 strike on Edmonds. Everybody in this lineup has been contributing. Jim is 6 for 15 in the series.
And he took a night off last night.
He's 0 for his last 6. 93-mile-an-hour fastball missed inside. You can already tell the velocity of Benson is better, Al, than the first time when we saw him. That was about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago.
Yeah, he's just, working his way back, and it's a slow process. They made a deal, manager and pitcher, and not to throw over 100 pitches at any start this year.
And speaking of not overthrowing, that's going to be the case with the Mark Pryor of the Chicago Cubs, who made a start today. Cubs won today over the Houston Astros, so that's good news. Cincinnati's taking on Arizona this afternoon. Here's a 2-2. Edmonds hangs in there. The final from Wrigley was 6-4 Chicago. San Diego beat the Mets 5-3 today. Light schedule in the American League. Cincinnati, by the way, acquired Sean Estes for 4 minor leaguers. So they picked up Moeller and Dempster and now Sean Estes.
I think there was also some cash that went to the Cincinnati's way also. We talked a little bit last night how the Mets, their chance for the wild card is greatly diminished, and that trade tells you what their mindset is.
Edmonds pulls it to Pokey Reese. Good start for Benson. 1-2-3. Luther Hackman and the Cardinals will take to the field when we come back. No score, bottom of the first coming up. There's Lloyd McClendon, the second-year manager of the Pirates. They're now a season-low 16 games under the 500 mark. Let's take a look at his lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Kendall, Wilson, then Giles. One of the fine players in this lineup. Ramirez, Craig Wilson, Rios, Heisdu, Reese, and then Benson. Look at the Cardinals defense here tonight. It's brought to you by Dobbs. Pujols, Edmonds, and Drew in the outfield. Roland Renteria on the left side of the infield. Pena Martinez on the right side. And Mike DeFelice, the only change tonight for Tony La Russa's club. He's behind the plate. Our Chrysler Jeep starter is Luther Hackman.
Third start of the season. Third start as a Cardinal. 6th of his career. Second start against the Pirates. As a starter, he is 0-2, a ERA over 10. But last time out, there were some very encouraging signs, and he'll probably get a couple more starts also.
Jason Kendall, 1 hit shy of 1,000, steps in, the leadoff man for the Pirates, and takes a ball. Kendall really hit into some tough luck last night. Good play by Edmonds in center field, and also a good play up the middle as well.
That was 3 times, remember? And then he lined out to first base. High stab by Tino Martinez, so he was robbed 3 times of getting that 1,000th hit.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. Jason Isringhausen, by the way, was hit on the forearm, or at least near his hand, his pitching hand, and that swelled up pretty good last night.
Talked to Jason. He didn't seem too concerned about it. Dave Duncan said he may not be available just because of he's pitched the last few days, not because of the wrist. Jason didn't really want to even consider that and said, I'll let him know how I feel.
The 3-1. Kendall pops it up. Shallow right field. Long way to go for JD. He'll come in, camps under it, and has it. For out number 1. Luther Hackman now got himself into a bunch of trouble, but was able to pitch out of it over the weekend and put together a pretty good start as we take a look at Jason Isringhausen in that Cardinal dugout.
He'll be in the dugout for a while. Yeah, the last time out, I mean, he just had bases loaded in the first inning and had runners all over the place, but pitched out of trouble. And it's a different mindset warming up. Reliever versus starter, trying to keep his emotions in check early in a ball game rather than watching how the game progresses and kind of slowly getting involved.
Pitched into the 5th inning in his last start against New York over the weekend at Busch Stadium. Luther became the 12th of 13. That's a major league high. 13 starting pitchers used by the Cardinals this year. Compare that to last year and the year before as Wilson grounds it to short. There's Renteria, 2 down. Cardinals used just 9 starters last year and only 6 when they won again in 2000. What's on Tap is brought to you by Budweiser, delivering beer at its best with the crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beers. Tomorrow night we'll come your way on Fox Sports Net. Roland returns to Philadelphia Saturday. That'll be on KTVI. And then Sunday, WB11 at Philadelphia. 1 o'clock St. Louis time. Here's Brian Giles. He takes a ball. The pitching pairings for this weekend pretty good. Chuck Finley against Randy Wolf, a fan favorite with the Phillies faithful. Simon Tachi will go against David Coggin. And then Matt Morris against Vicente Padilla. So 2 all-stars going head-to-head on Sunday.
See the Wolf pack and Padilla's flotilla.
His what?
Flotilla.
What's that?
I've seen the signs of the upper deck.
High fly ball, deep right field. Drew going back near the wall, and he's got it. Giles just missed a home run, just got under it. So good start for Luther, good start for the Cardinals. There's no score. Top of the 2nd, no score. Good start for Luther Hackman, a 1-2-3, bottom of the 1st. Albert Pujols will lead things off for the Cardinals. Pujols, Roland, and then Tino Martinez. We talk about hot hitters in this lineup. None hotter than Albert Pujols. He is ranked 2nd in the National League in runs scored with 86, 3rd in RBIs with 91, and 8th in home runs with 27. Albert drills it into way back. That was number 27 last night, as Adam Heisdu was climbing the wall there in center field, but had no chance at that one. And with that 27th home run, it was the 4th time he had hit a home run in the last 6 games. He also has 13 RBIs in the past 7. That's hot.
Wow, but what has he done for us lately? Well, it's just 8 for 15 in this series. You can see pretty darn consistent before and after the break. Well, La Russa, said last year was such a remarkable season for a rookie, and his sophomore season, he doesn't know the word jinx.
Albert, a deep drive the opposite way. Rios going back. It is gone. He's done it again. Home run, Pujols. Number 28 on the year.
Well, we've seen opposite field shots out into right center. There's virtually straightaway right field. I mean, 28 home runs, 92 RBIs now, 6-game hitting streak, batting 9 for 16 in the series. Just look at that, almost a one-handed swing, ball out away from him. He's strong, and he's good.
And he's good.
He's good.
Albert Pujols 1 year ago today, the average down this year, but like you said, Al, the RBIs and the home runs pretty consistent to where he was last year. Home runs, he's tied with 28 at this time a year ago. 92 RBIs, that is 8 better than what he had a season ago at this time. There's Scott Rowland. And I don't think it's any coincidence here that since Rowland got hot, Pujols has gotten hot. He has got protection behind him, And a guy like Scott Rowland, you cannot do anything about this. You've got to face one of the two.
Absolutely. And I mean, you just Rowland getting hot and everybody kind of surrounding him and everything like that. There's something else about Albert Pujols. He has 57 walks on the year, 52 strikeouts.
Wow.
So you can see how he's really cut down on the strikeouts. His walks have increased. So you can make the case, even though the average is down, he's having a better offensive season.
Let me ask you this. If you were voting right now for an MVP, I'm assuming a lot of folks would vote for Barry Bonds, but you'd have to give a lot of consideration now, especially what he has done the last 2 weeks to Albert Pujols, and the numbers that he's starting to put up are getting there among the league leaders. And you'd have to take a look at it, a real hard look at it.
Absolutely. And the MVP award is going to be won between now and the end of the season.
Right. Here's Tino Martinez with one out and nobody on. The Cardinals lead it 1-0. They've only trailed at one point in this series. That was down in the first game of this 4-game set. 3-0, and then Pujols erased that with a 3-run home run. Scott Rowland with that 3-run home run. Pujols has hit so many I get confused.
He hit one later in that game.
That's right.
You know, I think it's so important to jump out on top when you got a club like the Pirates that are really in a tailspin. Don't let them feel like they can even compete with you. And it hasn't been just the Cardinals and their offense. These guys have really struggled. They've lost 5 straight games. Pitchers have surrendered now 40 runs.
There's a deep drive into right center field. Tino Martinez has gone off the wall. Is it caught? No, it's not. Heisdu could not hold on, and Tino has himself a double. Great effort out in center by Heisdu, but he just couldn't hold on.
Well, that's right. He did not slow down one bit, crashing into the wall. Tino, 9-game hitting streak, and there you see the ball out away from him. He gets center, hits a good wood. It's out the deep part of the field, and look at him hit this right into the wall. Looked like it might have hit him right in the heel of the glove.
Yep.
And then when he hits the wall, it just pushes it right out of the glove. But a great effort by a young man.
Heisdu played over 1,000 games in the minor leagues and is a fan favorite here in Pittsburgh, especially with what he did against the Cardinals 3 weekends ago.
Well, apparently he was really a favorite wherever he stopped in the minor leagues. He's hit a lot of home runs. Cardinals had good win percentage when they score first.
There's another hot bat in this lineup. It's Renteria.
Wow.
8 for 16 in the series. Average has climbed up to 314.
During his 4-game hitting streak, he's 10 for 19, 526 average.
Tino is at second with one down. Benson got him to chase. It's popped up near the Cardinal dugout. Craig Wilson with room and foul ground and has it. And it's up to Mike DeFelice.
DeFelice is 0 for his last 7, but he got 3 hits back on July 20th here at Pittsburgh.
The way that Mike Matheny has been swinging the bat, which has been much better as of late, it's cut into the time of DeFelice behind the plate and also Eli Marrero behind there. But Eli is more a utility guy and DeFelice is the backup catcher. But Mike normally is catching Matt Morris, but that hasn't been the case the last couple of starts.
A lot of managers, if they can avoid it, try to avoid having one catcher for certain pitchers, because what happens if the guy gets injured?
Right.
And then psychologically that guy isn't comfortable with someone else.
Maddox has been that way.
Right. I mean, well, he just doesn't like throwing to Javi Lopez at all.
Right.
And they will purposely go out and get a backup catcher just to catch him.
And just, they don't care how he hits. A guy like Blanco is a perfect example.
Right. Remember that Baco in that same capacity before Blanco?
0-2 on Mike DeFelice. Tino Martinez at second. Cardinals lead it 1-0 on Pujols' solo home run. A strikeout at DeFelice, the first of the night for Chris Benson. We played an inning and a half. Pujols with number 28. Cardinals on top. Hey kids, the Cardinals have just added a great new promotion, and it's just in time for school. It's the Cardinals SBC Back to School Mousepad Night. On Friday, August 23rd, all kids 15 and under with a paid admission receive a specially designed Cardinals mousepad courtesy of SBC Communications. Again, check it out on the web at stlcardinals.com or 421-3060 for mousepad night at the ballpark. There's a strike to Ramirez, the cleanup man for the Pirates. Ramirez, Wilson, and Rios.
Think of that mousepad. I was studying my media guide when I got on the bus, but Jim Jackson correct me on the number of mouse pads he had, and there's that hustling Ramirez.
That's awful.
Yeah, he should be booed, as you can hear a smattering of boos, and I don't care if he's got an ankle problem or not. I mean, that was 2 months ago they used that excuse.
We watched the Pirates take to the field, Al, to start this game. There was no hustle, no life out of that dugout, and then you watch Ramirez run up the line, and that's inexcusable at this level. That's, or any level, but especially in the major leagues, that's inexcusable. Period.
Well, one of your higher salary players, he gets away with it. Well, what kind of a message does that send to the younger guys? It's okay to do it.
One ball, one strike on Craig Wilson.
I was talking with Red Shandies, who's on the trip, and he said when he came up, Terry Moore was the captain. He said Terry Moore would come over, grab somebody by the shoulder up here, what, deltoids?
Right.
Grab him there and say, you know, I think you need to run a little harder next time. And said he was so strong as that vice grip would just go harder and harder and dig into it. He said manager, coaches didn't need to do it. Players took care of it. And that's what the captain's role was.
When you played, did you have a lot of guys that policed the clubhouse?
Absolutely. It was you know, Joe Torre, Bob Gibson, Lou Brock. And one of the things they would say back then is, you're messing with my money. You know, you better start getting your act together. It was on the field or off the field, because you had to get your raises. You had to win. So you could fool management, you could fool the fans, but you can't fool your teammates.
Three balls, two strikes, and Craig Wilson with one out, nobody on. Hackman has got a live arm, and as you talked about, Al, during our open, prior to coming here with the Cardinals, he was a starter in the minor leagues, so this is something that's not foreign to him. It's just foreign to him at this level. The 3-2 will do it again. Just missed outside. One out walk, first base runner for the Pirates tonight.
This guy, good fastball. He's got a breaking ball, changeup. Part of it is just trying to keep his emotions in check and warm up one way as a reliever, another way as a starter. Kind of get ready for a game, but also pace yourself to face guys 2 or 3 times in the order.
Now, if you're Dave Littlefield, who is the new general manager in his first season with the Pirates, you understand that Lloyd McClendon, at least talent-wise with this club, has got his hands tied a bit. But the one thing that you have to watch is how guys are hustling, the competitiveness for the next 6 weeks or so before the season ends, to make your decision on whether Lloyd comes back or not, because he's feeling some pressure.
Well, and those are simple things that you can control. You may not necessarily be able to control all your talent levels, but yet they feel they have a good winning percentage in their minor leagues. You know, they said last year
it's actually the best in baseball this year.
Right. And one of the things that they said is we need to improve our infield defense. They've done that. Pokey Reese and a sophomore guy. There's Dave Littlefield. Also, Jack Wilson has matured a little bit. He's getting better. Kevin Young has played for the most part at good first base. they're still trying to search for that center fielder to help out the defensively, and they had to upgrade their pitching staff. Josh Fogg and Kip Wells have helped out in that department, re-signing Mike Williams, their closer. But they're probably 2 more years of reaping the benefit of some of those younger players.
They have a phenom, is what they call him, at Double-A. Tony Alvarez is a name you're going to be hearing a lot about. A base hit up the middle for Armando Rios. Due to tonight's game, Thursday's WB lineup airs Sunday beginning at 4 with Reba, followed by the Jamie Kennedy Experiment and Off Center at 5:30. So again, the Thursday night lineup will be moved to Sunday starting at 4 here on WB 11. Hope you're enjoying this one on WB 11 and the Cardinals television network.
That should be right after our telecast from Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia.
Right. There's Adam Heisdu.
A lot of phenoms went from being a prospect to a suspect.
And this guy was one of them.
Yeah.
Heisdu.
Kind of made me think of that. But he broke all of Griffey Jr.'s records at Moeller High School in Cincinnati. And as you said, played over 1,000 games in the minor leagues and still really trying to solidify himself at the major league level.
Luther would love the double play and get out of the inning. It's the bottom of the second. Heisdu takes a strike right down the middle. It's 0-2. 2 fastballs right down the middle, and Heisdu just watched him pass on through the zone.
I think part of it is slider bat speed, but probably didn't think he'd get a couple fastballs. Guess hitter.
One thing that Luther has done as a starter, even more so as when he was in relief, is that he's been a lot more aggressive as a starter, it seems to me. And he's talked about that. He talked about it with Mike Shannon the other day.
He needs to pitch inside. And he needs to throw strikes. And there was borderline right there. Did he go around? They said no. But he's got to try and get hitters out and know that he has to go beyond 5 innings rather than 1 or 2 innings max.
Pitched into the 5th over the weekend, and Cardinals expecting around 75 to 80 pitches tonight. Probably see Gabe Molina before the night is through. Just added to the Cardinals roster yesterday when Matt Duff was sent back down. Full count on Heisdu. It was 0-2. Snapped an 0 for 21 streak on Tuesday night. Just 3 hits in his last 28. It's 1st and 2nd, just 1 out. Runners go, and the pitch is a ball. 2nd walk in the inning. And the bases will be loaded for Pokey Reese.
See, that's the one thing that he cannot do as a starter is walk these people. One, it takes up an awful lot of pitches that he doesn't have the stamina. And 2, you're just putting yourself in trouble. You're going to give up some hits. So when you start walking people, those hits become runs.
Pokey Reese steps in with an 8-game hitting streak. And now he has reached base safely in 5 of his last 8 plate appearances. So he has had a nice series here at the Dish against the Cardinals, and one of the better bats in this lineup now with the bases loaded.
Use your defense. He's a speedy runner, but still, you get out of it.
Corners are in. And the pitch is taken for a ball on the outside corner. No grand slams for Pokey Reese in his career. Just 3 home runs on the season. One and 1. Cardinals will head to Philadelphia after tonight's ball game. Chuck Finley and Randy Wolf tomorrow night. Line drive. Into center. Edmonds on the run. He'll track it down. The runners will tag up from second and third, and the Pirates have tied this game up on Pokey Reese's 36th RBI on the year.
The ball up out over the plate. Looked like DeFelice wanted it more inside. And get out of this inning with just one run scored. And that's the way it should be with the pitcher coming up.
Armando Rios moved up from second to third. Heisdu stays at first, so first and third, now two down, and the pitcher Benson. He's 5 for 23 on the year, hitting .217, and takes a ball. He can handle the bat a little bit, so have to be a little careful with Chris Benson at the plate.
You should respect anybody standing in there. Respect them and dominate them.
Pirates are just 5 and 7 against the Redbirds this season. They've lost the last 4 against the Cardinals after winning 5 of the first 8 meetings, and the Cardinals dominated Pittsburgh a season ago.
They won 14 of the 17 meetings a year ago.
Right.
They'll be in St. Louis Monday night for 3.
Benson fooled on the breaking ball. It's 1-2. Tell me this is our final visit to Pittsburgh
this year.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right, good.
We're remarking that it seems like every road trip we take, it goes through Pittsburgh. We were here 3 weeks ago.
Strikeout of Benson, and that's the first on the night. The Pirates strand 2, but they tie the game up. Pokey Reese with the RBI, and it's 1-1. 1-1 game as we move to the top of the third here in Pittsburgh, and welcome back along the Cardinals television network. Our Ford Key matchup. A look at these two teams head to head this year. The Cardinals are 7 and 5 against the Pirates, and much of that .315 average has jumped up in the past 3 nights. The runs as well. Home runs 16, and Pujols many of those 16, and the ERA though at 5.74, but Pirates at 6.14. So pitching has not been all that good in this head-to-head matchup, our Ford Key matchup this year between the Cards and the Pirates.
I remember it seemed like they really dominated against us the last time we were in here, and earlier in the season they won a game. Matter of fact, the one game that Benson won was they scored 15 runs.
Luther Hackman with a base hit into right, his second career hit. Let's turn to our leaderboard. It's brought to you by Auto Tire. Strikeout rate, the active career leaders. There you see Fernando Vina. He's tough to strike out, along with Eric Young and Mark Grace of Arizona. Our Auto Tire leaderboard.
And of course, this year the Cardinals have the fewest strikeouts as a team in the National League.
I was shocked to see that number that was brought up the other day, and I realized that the Cardinals, with McGuire not in the lineup, don't strike out as much, but to be leading the league in that department is quite a turnaround. Vina this season has only struck out 26 times.
Team leader is Edmonds with 92. JD's got 82 strikeouts. Scott Rowland has 74, only 6 as a Cardinal, and 55 at bats.
There's that graphic we were talking about the other night. Vina hits it to first. There's one. Wilson to throw to second. Hackman is safe. He didn't slide and got away with it at second base, and Hackman is in scoring position.
Craig Wilson, a catcher, been playing a lot of right field, and there you see the throw off line, and Luther stays on the bag.
So Vina hits into some tough luck, hit it on the button, but Wilson was playing near the line trying to hold Hackman somewhat close. And now here's J.D. Drew. J.D. would go to the opposite way. There's a huge hole between third and short. Jack Wilson is playing behind Luther Hackman, the runner at second. Drew flew out his first time up. to center field. He lined out. Ramirez is even with the bag. Haven't seen JD try to drop down a bunt in a while. Ball's behind 0-2.
And the off-speed pitches.
One ball, 2 strikes on JD Drew with Edmonds on deck. Cardinals at 65-52. Pirates 52-68. JD grounds it to second. There's Pokey Reese on the outfield grass, makes the play. 2 down. Drew had a couple of hits the other night, but this has been a struggle the last month or so for JD Drew.
He'd been working with Mitch Page, looking at video, trying to find stretches where he was swinging the bat well, and where was his hands, how widespread is his stance. I wish he would watch more of Edmonds and watch how he spreads out and how he hits to the opposite field.
Edmonds on a breaking ball pulls it towards Pokey Reese. Nice play. And Hackman is stranded. Cardinals have left 2 on the night. It's 1-1. Baseball on WB11 is brought to you by Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers. By your St. Louis area Lexus dealer who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. And by Bank of America, we find financial solutions that fit you. Gorgeous night here in Pittsburgh. We welcome you back along the Cardinals television network. Luther Hackman and the Cardinals tied 1-1 with Pittsburgh. We have a player action photo night coming up. All fans 15 and under with a paid admission receive an action photo featuring first baseman Tino Martinez. And the bottom of the action photo comes with a coupon good for 1 free small popcorn courtesy of AMC Theaters. That'll be next Monday when the Cardinals play the Pittsburgh Pirates. Here's Kendall. Lied out to right his first time up. 1 hit shy of 1,000 in his career. The leadoff man for the Pirates. Kendall, of course, had a gruesome injury a few years ago, but has battled back, and in many ways the heart and soul of this team, along with Giles. Pulls it left side. Roland, nice backhanded play, and throws a bullet over to Tino Martinez. Roland, only 8 errors on the season. He's yet to commit one with the Cardinals.
I watched him trying to backhand it, but he had to really reach out a little further than what he first anticipated it. But once he gobbles it up and gets it into that rocket throwing arm, doesn't matter. He's going to take that crow hop, and he's still not even letting loose.
No. Larson, a home run for Cincinnati off of Randy Johnson, and the Reds lead at 1-0. That's early on. Cincinnati a little lucky they didn't see Curt Schilling in that series. He pitched over the weekend at Florida. What a story Schilling has turned out to be this year. The kind of season that he has had has just been dominant. Better than any pitcher in the game of baseball. Here's Jack Wilson. 19 wins, Al, and only 19 walks. That's an amazing stat for Curt Schilling.
Interesting. And Randy Johnson just really piling up the strikeouts after people were a little concerned a few starts ago with a bad back. He's looking for what, 18?
Right.
Win number 18.
Schilling is projected, if things work out, to have 27 walks for the season and 36 starts. If he continues on this current pace. Strikeout by Hackman. That's number 2 on the night. 2 down. That brings in Giles.
Luther been getting some mileage with his changeup, and it looked like that one just kind of not only would it change speeds, but had some good movement and kind of drifted back inside, tying him up.
It's Brian Giles with 62 extra base hits on the year. 62, and that's the best in the National League. 30 home runs. There was some talk that Schilling might be able to get to 30 victories, but that's out of the question now. Last pitcher in the National League to have 25 or more victories was Steve Carlton. You have to go all the way back to 1972 with that.
Right. First year after he was traded in spring training from the Cardinals to Philadelphia. Rick Wise won 27 ball games.
2 balls and a strike.
Out of about a total of 50 some victories. And you know that you could tell then when Lefty took the mound and had that young Boa and Rosinski and Schmidt and all these guys like that are going to be great players 3 or 4 years down the road. That was the day they felt like they were invincible.
Full count on Giles. Now the last pitcher to have 25 or more victories pitched for Tony La Russa. Bob Welch had 27, I believe.
27
in 1990 with the Oakland A's. Just not enough starts to get 30.
Well, that's the difference of really the 4 and the 5-man rotation.
Sure.
Third walk allowed by Luther.
Boy, where did he miss on that pitch?
Inside.
Not by much. 53 pitches thrown by Luther Hackman. Bad ratio there with 26 balls and 27 strikes.
Well, that's what you can see. He's at that point where it's going to be a struggle to get through 5 innings and keep that pitch count where they want.
Here's Ramirez. High drive left field. But not enough as Pujols is there on the track. Ramirez gave it a ride, but not enough, and the Pirates strand a man. Part of the order coming up with Pujols, Rolen, and Tito Martinez. Cardinal fans, if you would like to win tickets and participate in the Southwest Airlines Family of the Game promotion during a Cardinals home game, here's your chance. Send your name, address, and phone number to Southwest Airlines Family of the Game, P.O. Box 771192, St. Louis, Missouri 63177. And good luck from Southwest Airlines.
And good news from Cincinnati as McCracken just hits a 2-run home run. I guess it's a 1-run home run.
Solo home run.
Faked me out. They had a 2 up there, but it's tied 1-1.
Here's Albert Pujols. Speaking of home runs, he is homered tonight. Cardinals lone run. Solo shot to the opposite way. For his 28th home run and 92nd RBI on the year. 92 for Pujols. And he hits a rope to Wilson, but he makes the play to his left. Everything he hits right now is hard. Scott Rolen inside the numbers, brought to you by Bank of America with the Cardinals. You can see striking out once, every 9 at bats as opposed to the close to 6 while with the Philadelphia Phillies this season. Inside the numbers, brought to you by Bank of America. Tino Martinez is on deck. Rolen grounded out his first time up to third. Rolen had that big home run that got things going offensively for the Cardinals in this series, down 3-0. He hit a 3-run home run. It's been the only time that the Cardinals have trailed in these 3+ games.
Well, you know they're going to. Philadelphia, the entire town is going to send out the red carpet for Scott and J.D. Drew tomorrow night.
It's going to be fun.
It is.
We get to sit up here and have some fun with it. It probably won't be fun for them.
Oh, sure it will be. As long as idiots don't do anything stupid.
Last time we were there with a lot of controversy with J.D. Drew a few years ago. There were batteries being thrown at J.D. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Rolen. Kendall sets up inside. They jam him. 2 down. Now, you were saying the other night, Al, that former umpire Eric Gregg has a bar that's near the stadium, right?
No, he's working.
Oh, he's in.
It's tending bar at one of the bars in the stadium, like one, like a club. So we may have to go see Eric.
He was one of your favorites, wasn't he? Personality-wise.
Eric has a great personality. You know, he's always a fun guy and always had a smile on his face. And remember when Tom Lawless and the guys took a cheeseburger and left it out on third base for him. And he was umping third one game in St. Louis, and you know, of course he went over and picked it up and put a smile and everything, and then he ate it.
He ate it.
Yeah, don't let it go to waste.
2 balls and a strike on Tino Martinez. He doubled off the wall. Heisdu almost made a fantastic play in right center field on the wall. Tino, a high drive. Right field. Rios going back at the wall, and he's got it. Rios was just drifting back and made the play on the track. History back in 1941. It's brought to you by Schnucks. In spite of leading 6-3, the Senators forfeited the game to the Red Sox because the league ruled the ground crew deliberately refused to cover the field.
That actually happened one time here at Three Rivers Stadium. The Cardinals won a protest because, remember, they had the tartan turf, they had an automatic roller, and the equipment malfunctioned, and that is responsibility of the home team. And the Cardinals won the protest because they couldn't get the field covered.
Wilson is swing and a miss. 2 balls and a strike. You're watching the Cardinals on WB11 KPLR TV St. Louis.
And I know I've got some grandkids that are watching this game back on WB11 in St. Louis. So big Papa hello to Callan and his little sister Lena. Of course, Addison's too old to be watching this. He's watching a movie or something. But Callan's my baseball player. He's the one that watches the game with Papa.
Here's a 2-2 pitch right down the middle, and Wilson is caught looking. 3 strikeouts for Luther Hackman. Hey, Cardinal fans, on Saturday, August 24th, the Cardinals play the Phillies. It's Singular Wireless Pin Night. The first 30,000 fans with a paid admission receive a collector's pin highlighting Jim Edmonds and Fernando Vina's 2001 Gold Glove season. It's courtesy of Singular Wireless. Again, Saturday, August 24th, the Cardinals host the Phillies. 421-3060 or stlcardinals.com for more ticket information on that great promotional night. Here's Armando Rios. We were talking about him the other night, growing up in the same hometown in Puerto Rico as Roberto Clemente. Obviously, Roberto Clemente, one of the greats of all time here in Pittsburgh. Many of the fans that arrive here at the ballpark walk across the Clemente Bridge, the downtown Pittsburgh area here.
They have those 2 big statues, one of Clemente and also Willie Stargell. There's the Clemente Bridge.
There's also another one of Honus Wagner out there.
That's right. They closed down the road to automobile traffic before and after the game, just have it foot traffic. And you and I walk back most nights. We walk back to the downtown hotel via the bridge.
Here's Heisdu. It's a great setting here, isn't it?
Absolutely beautiful.
The players seem to feel that this is a pretty fair park for both hitters and pitchers. No complaints.
You know, it's short down the right field porch, but then they have that 21-foot wall
in honor of Clemente.
In honor of Clemente, his number. Basically, you know, it's a fair dimensions in the power alleys and straightaway center.
Four straight, and Heisdu is aboard. So a 2-out walk, and the walks have not been good here for Luther. That's been one of the downsides in this start tonight. 4 walks that he has allowed.
Well, it's only allowed one hit on the night. They scored their 1 run, but it was Craig Wilson who came around on the first walk of the night that Luther has issued. Then a base hit to Rios, another walk and a sacrifice fly by this man, Pokey Reese.
That was to center field. Velocity very good by Luther Hackman, 93 miles an hour. Chicago a winner today. They beat the Houston Astros 6-4. Mark Pryor struck out 12, and Sammy Sosa with his 41st home run of the year.
What did the Cubs have? 5 home runs in that game?
5
solo shots.
Right.
You know, one of the tough things for Luther in a 4-game series, you know, oftentimes you're victimized of the success or the pitching patterns of the 3 previous pitchers or starters. You know, they'll try and pitch guys certain ways. Well, in the 4th game, the Pirates are starting to figure out maybe, well, how the Cardinals approach them all series. So it's even more impressive that Luther's not giving up more than 1 hit.
Two balls and a strike on Pokey Reese. Came in hitting .256. One thing that has not been diminished with Pokey Reese is bat has been quiet in the last couple of seasons, but his glove is outstanding. He hits a rope. Oh, what a play by Renteria. Just stuck the glove out and snared it. Pirates strand a man. They have left 4. It's 1-1. Edgar Renteria will lead things off as we move to the 5th inning. It's a 1-1 game. Only 4 hits combined here tonight. Luther Hackman and Chris Benson on the mound for their respective clubs, and this is our Pizza Hut perfect delivery of the game. Good play here by Renteria, Al.
Well, remember last series, and we played a couple day games, but Edgar really had trouble picking up the ball off the bat. And he even told me here at this ballpark, line drives that are like that don't really get up, are very hard to see. And so that was even a better play because he just kind of assumed where the ball was and it hit his glove. It's kind of a white background behind the home plate in that little horseshoe area.
Renteria popped out his first time up. It's it to Wilson, who won't be able to make a play. Edgar with a base hit.
One of the things that Wilson's going to learn and is on certain plays like that not to try and throw it. He was going to try and do this. He has that little hop. It's kind of his little mechanism. Get ready. The ball came up on him and didn't hold on to it, but he makes a lot of his throwing errors by trying to make that miraculous play that you got to judge the foot speed of the runner going down there, and sometimes you just put it in your pocket.
Now, the guy that you always see do that little jump and throw in the hole is Jeter. He's got it down to a science. But we've seen Wilson twice try to do that in this series, and he hasn't been able to make the play. DeFelice struck out his first time up, hitting .250 on the year. Well, that Astros loss, they're now 3.5 games out. Could be 4 with a win here tonight.
Also puts them 5 games back in the loss column. That's what you really got to look at, because they played a couple more games than the Cardinals have.
They've got Carlos Hernandez, though, set to come back in their rotation. That's going to help them out as they head down the stretch. They've got probably the best young pitching, certainly in the Central, but you can make a case in all of baseball with Hernandez and Oswalt and Miller.
I don't think any of us think that the Astros are going to fall by the wayside.
Scarloose, another one that's emerged for them this year. Edgar has 16 stolen bases on the year.
Kendall has thrown out 26% of runners trying to steal off of him.
Not a very big lead by Edgar Renteria. One and two. Cardinals are going to squeeze at least another inning out of Luther Hackman. He's on deck. It's in the 4th. It's 1-1 between Arizona and Cincinnati. Randy Johnson fifth on the all-time strikeout list, is making the start for the Diamondbacks
against Dempster.
Al Johnson is 4-0 in his last 4 starts, ERA of .02. That's pretty tough.
Yep. He allowed the 1 home run and a pair of solo shots of the scoring in that game. It's 1-1 moving to the 4th.
Edgar's hopping all over the place at first base, not going, and the pitch is pulled, possibly a double play ball. There's Pokey Reese. He turns it. Despite Renteria running hard, good turn by Pokey Reese and a double play. So the leadoff base hit by Renteria raced on the double play, and in steps Hackman.
You really want to hit your second baseman around chest high. You want to lead him a little bit, but not that far. And Renteria, I think, really was trying to steal, but then he almost left too soon. He stopped. He would have been going. They may not have been able to complete it.
Johnson and Schilling out combined 36 and 8. Rest of their staff 37 and 33. The short series are going to be tough like we saw last year, but extended you can get to them.
Well, those other guys are starting to win a few games. I mean, it was a much worse percentage, and they were under 500 when 3, 4, and 5 guys started, but they've been winning of late.
Todd Stottlemyre, by the way, is starting to rehab, and we've heard that story time and again with Stottlemyre.
I mean, you've got to respect, and we know that he's a great competitor, but at some point, you know, he's made an awful lot of money and you know, on the disabled list.
2-2 the count on Heckman. Luther pops it up. Rios leans into the stands but out of play. So it stays 2-2 on Luther Hackman, who is 1 for 1 tonight. Picked up his second career hit in the 3rd inning. Pokey Reese has been busy here tonight, and the Cardinals are done here in their half of the 5th. It stays a 1-1 game. This portion of Cardinal baseball on WB11 is brought to you by Jack in the Box, where we don't make it till you order it. By Geico Direct, the sensible alternative. And by MasterCard. Go to MLB.com to vote for memorable moments presented by MasterCard. It's a grand slam. We're talking about Ford Taurus. $3,000 cash back or 0% APR financing for 60 months to qualified buyers. Ford and your quality Ford stores, your home run to summer fun. PNC Park here in Pittsburgh. Hackman back to work. He's allowed just 1 hit on the night. The Cardinals have 4 hits. He'll go against his counterpart, Chris Benson, who hits it sharply to third. There's Scott Rowland. And Benson is 0 for 2.
Well, that's how you get off to a good start here in the 5th inning. Throw 1 pitch, get 1 out. Use that defense. Michael Hauser's family from Baldwin, Missouri. We're nearing the end of a 14-day road trip to Maine, New York, Philadelphia, and Pittsburgh. They had to have their Cardinal fix, so they're here tonight. I want to say hello to all their family and friends back home.
Here's Kendall, the leadoff man. Looks at his strike. He's 0 for 2. He is fly to right and grounded out to third. Hitting .285 on the year. Of course, the Cardinals and Pirates concluding their 4-game series here tonight. Redbirds trying for a sweep here in Pittsburgh, which would be their first 4-game sweep since 1971 against the Pirates. The 1-1 is pulled to Rowland. He gloves it, knocks it down, And it looks like that might be the first error on Scott Rowland. We'll have to see.
It is. He kind of ejected it, but then he kicked it with his left foot. Wasn't that tough a play. He just boxes it. So it's his first Cardinal error, 9th overall.
Jack Wilson will be the hitter. He struck out and grounded out. So the first error by Rowland in a Cardinal uniform, his 9th on the year. We'll see if Luther can get a double play and get out of the inning. Hackman has done a nice job in this role as a starter.
To be honest with you, I was kind of surprised they didn't try him earlier. He's big, strong. He's had the experience in the minor leagues. Yes, he wasn't conditioned for it, but you know, the first time he did it, he only went 2 innings. Last time he got into the 5th inning.
Runner was going, a fly ball into right. Long way to go for JD. He makes a play. Good play by JD Drew. And Kendall back to first. That was a long way to go for JD, and he also had to guard against the wall.
Yeah, you have to acknowledge this is a very good play, and reaching right there. And yeah, the wall kind of leaned on it, got back. Hit and run was on. And if contact was not made, Kendall would have been thrown out by 10 feet.
Right.
Really did not have any kind of jump at all.
And it's up to Giles with 2 down. This is where that error by Rowland could cost you, because Giles now comes up with a man on. Luther Hackman was part of the deal that brought Darryl Kyle and Dave Beers in a trade for Manny Ibar, Rick Croushore, and Jose Jimenez. Also, Brent Butler was part of that deal. Out of Columbus, Mississippi. The 0-1 is ripped into center field, but Edmonds has a beat on it and puts it away. Pirates have left a man in every inning. They've stranded 5. Vigna's coming up. Following tonight's ball game, it's WB11 News with Catherine Jamboretz and Melanie Moon. Rich Gould has sports. Gary Seith has all the weather. It's WB11 News following the ball game here tonight from PNC Park. We welcome you back. Top of the 6th and the top of the order for the Cardinals. Vigna, Drew, and Edmonds. If anybody can reach, then Albert Pujols. If you include the home run by Pujols, Cardinals have had 3 leadoff men, and the innings get on. Pirates haven't had a man do that yet here tonight as Vigna shoots one into the seats. Not much of a crowd yet again here at PNC Park. We had 15,000 on the first night. 18,000 the other night. Close to 20 last night.
And I think this is the biggest crowd. We had a little over 20 here last night. And this is seems to be a bigger crowd. But it seems to be a lot of giveaways.
You got it. Pitch count has not been all that high for Benson. 1 ball, 1 strike on Vigna. He lifts a breaking ball to the opposite way. Giles will go back. Fernando is 0 for 3.
I remember Luther's on a pitch count, but so is Benson, having the reconstructed elbow surgery. Kind of not the same approach as Matt Morris, not pitching out of the bullpen, but they have made a deal where he will not exceed 100 pitches in any start this year. And only one time did he go 100 pitches, and that was against the Cardinals.
Here's JD Drew. Into center field, there's Adam Heisdu. He's got it. 2 down. JD is 0 for 3. And it's up to Jim Edmonds, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of groundouts to Pokey Reese.
Well, Arizona behind Randy Johnson has taken a 2-1 lead. And they're still batting in the fifth inning.
Got to feel good about that. With Randy Johnson on the mound, very good bullpen and a good closer for Arizona. And up by a run.
A lot of game left. Let's worry about getting a victory here too, though. Jim Edmonds over his last 8 after being very hot. A lot of times he breaks out with a long ball.
He has put one in the Allegheny before. One of 6 to do so.
That was his 12th home run back on May 26th, the 438-foot blast in the Allegheny River.
It's a rope up the middle with the Cardinals' 5th hit here tonight.
Can't give that terminology tonight.
It's not instructional night.
Not instructional night.
Rich Gould said I could. He called in to let us know that we can continue with our instructional night.
Okay, here's a rope.
That's a rope.
Or a linea.
Right.
I want to see a pericalle.
Which is?
Put it in the street. Or a Rio. Here, a Rio.
This might be the guy to do it. Albert Pujols has homered here tonight. He also lined out to the shortstop Wilson. Average is close to 300 now. Greg Wilson holding at first with Edmonds there. Jim with 3 stolen bases on the year. That's pulled for a base hit through the hole. And a 2-hit night for Albert Pujols. Let's turn to our NL Central standings. Remember, Houston a loser today, so now they're 3.5 games out. Reds 4.5 back. Pirates 14.5 games out, on the verge of being swept here tonight. Cubs 15 and the Brewers 24. Mentioned that the Brewers are well on their way to a 100-loss season, which is something that the Pirates had to go through last year. Here's Scott Rowland with 2 outs and 2 on. Outfield deep for Rowland. He homered in game 1 of this 4-game set. It's a shot up the middle. Highs due. Can't get there. That's going to drop for a base hit and an RBI for Rowland. Edmonds scores, and we've had 3 consecutive hits with 2 outs. And the Cardinals take the lead 2-1 on Rowland's 78th RBI.
78th RBI, 12th as a Cardinal, and he's so strong he kind of muscles this one out. Sends it out there into the center field, and Jim Edmonds came home. So 3 consecutive hits after the first 2 men flew out.
Looked like it was going to be a pretty quick inning too. Tino Martinez will step in.
Tino's 1 for 2. He's already extended his hitting streak to 9 games.
The time that he made an out was a deep fly ball to the wall that Rios brought in.
Out at the deepest part in right center.
So the damage done here with 2 outs. Pujols at second. Rowland at first. The 0-1. Ball outside. Renteria is on deck. Cardinals leading 2-1. Arizona on top of Cincinnati 2-1.
2-1 game, but Cardinals have out hit the Pirates 7-1.
And the Pirates have left 5 on here tonight. Let's see what Tino Martinez can do here. Ahead in the count with 2 balls and just 1 strike. RBIs tonight by Pujols and Rowland. Albert a solo home run. Rowland a 2-out base hit. Up the middle, base hit. That's going to score another run. Rowland will be stopped at third, and it's 3-1 St. Louis on the RBI by Tino Martinez. He is 2 for 3, and that is RBI number 55 for the Cardinal first baseman.
Tino just really gets this ball hard enough, out away from him, got it centered, gets it by Pokey Reese. Rowland, watch him. He's really fundamentally sound, as when he came to second base, he saw the ball get by the second baseman, knew it was out into right center. He knew he was probably coming to third, but he immediately picked up his third base coach, Oquendo, and the plays behind him at that point to determine whether I stop at third or will I come on home. But you could tell he's well schooled, and big guy, runs hard and really does utilize his base coaches. See him right there picking things up. He's got his eyes focused on Oquendo, and got the stop sign.
More good news from Cincinnati. Steve Finley a home run, and it's now 5-1. Arizona on top.
Just keep on winning our game.
So 4 consecutive base hits for the Cardinals, all done with 2 outs. And here's Renteria. Benson misses with a fastball low and in. We're in the 6th, and it's 3-1 St. Louis, rolling at third.
Renteria came in leading all National League batters batting average since the All-Star break. It was 382, and with his 1-for-2 night to this point, he's added to that.
Tino Martinez at first, Roland is at third, and Renteria ahead in the count with 2 balls and no strikes. He is homered in this series. Came in 8 for 16 in the series. Well, Benson, remember, is coming off of elbow reconstructive surgery last May. He was hurt in March. He threw a couple of games, and then against Minnesota felt the twinge, and that was it. Prior to that surgery, he would hit around 95, 96, and he's just trying to get back into form now. And he walks Renteria on 4 straight, and now you have to be a little surprised if he stays any much longer in this ball game, because you know he's going to labor. He's not gone very long in many starts this year, and now the bases are loaded. Pitch count near 80 for Benson. Well, this is our Geico moment, a chance for Mike DeFelice to bust the game wide open.
A tough decision. A little surprise that Tony doesn't have a reliever warming up in case he wanted to pinch hit if this inning is extended and really break it open. Luther Hackman is just walking out to the on deck circle, but 2 outs, and if you had the opportunity, I think you'd have to take it, to try and score more, because Luther probably would only go 1 more inning anyway.
Here's the 0-1 to DeFelice. Line drive, base hit. 1 run in. Here comes another. Renteria is digging for third. He'll stop right there. DeFelice for 2. He's got himself a double. Boy, that's big with 2 outs. DeFelice with the bases loaded. Plates 2, and now it's 5-1 St. Louis. This is our Geico moment. Mike DeFelice, the base hit and a double into left center field. Plates 2, and the Cardinals have themselves a 5-1 lead.
That maybe they're matching Arizona right here. 5-1 in both the games, but that was a big hit, and Luther will bat for himself.
So DeFelice at second, Renteria at third. 5-1. On 9 hits, the Cardinals lead this one against Chris Benson, a former #1 pick back in 1996.
9th batter he's facing.
Remember, Al, this has all been done with 2 outs. That's hit to short. Wilson backing up, takes his time, and throws out Luther Hackman. Big inning for the Cardinals. They pick up 4 here in the top of the 6th and lead it 5-1. Hey, Cardinal fans, the Cardinals have added another great promotion for this season. On August 20th, the Cardinals will give away a special edition Heartland Collectibles statue of Hall of Famer #1 Ozzie Smith to the first 30,000 fans with a paid admission to the 7-10 game against the Pirates. The McDonald's Go Crazy Folks statue features Ozzie in his memorable dash around the bases with his fist clenched high in the air. Don't miss it. Ozzie Smith statue coming up at the ballpark on Tuesday, August 20th. Runs by inning in this series for the Cardinals, and this is updated with what they have done here in the 2nd with 1 inning tonight, or rather 1 run in that 2nd inning, and then 4 in the 6th inning. So Cardinals have scored in every inning of this 4-game series and lead it tonight by the score of 5-1 behind a 9-hit attack this evening. This has been fun.
Want to keep on going, though.
So Luther Hackman stays in the game and throws a strike to Ramirez. Ramirez, Craig Wilson, and Armando Rios. A little surprised, by the way, Al, to see Benson stay in the game as long as he did.
No. I'd be surprised if he didn't come out now.
The ball gets away and goes to the wall, and Ramirez was not hustling, and he's only at second. He wasn't hustling again.
Well, you know, it's the way the guy likes to play, and that's how he gets paid all this money. Look at that, slowing down. Got out to the deepest part of the ballpark. There's an area out by the bullpen regions, and it got all the way to the wall, and you can see how it plugs between Pujols and Edmonds, and so Albert had to go all the way into the deepest part of the ballpark, and he could only get a double. Now Dave Duncan will come out and talk to him as they get the bullpen going. There's Gabe Molina, just recalled yesterday as Matt Duff was sent down. Molina has had experience at the major league, not a lot, but some, with Baltimore, and also as recently as 2000 with Atlanta.
Hackman, by the way, is in line for a victory here tonight. He, along with his bullpen, can hold on.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. You want to get as many more runs as possible, because there's a strong possibility that Isringhausen would not be available tonight, not because of the line drive off the wrist, but just because he's been throwing a lot.
1-0 to Craig Wilson. He scored the lone run for the Pirates tonight. Fly ball lifted into center field. Edmonds backing up. He's got it. Ramirez is tagging from second to third. The throw by Edmonds. Not in time as Ramirez is in there.
Should be at home. But you saw there, he can run when he wants to. So don't tell me the ankle. Don't be using that as an excuse if you can run when you want to.
Brings in Armando Rios. Now, what would you do with a guy that, and in your era when you played baseball, what would happen to Ramirez?
Well, his teammates would take care of him. You know, I've talked to the coaches, the Cardinal coaches, and said, well, we really like his talent. He said, we'll get him to play hard because we will jump him, we'll do this. Wouldn't need to then. Players would do it for you. I'm going to check and see if he left too soon. Did not. But players would take that, even if they have to help him with an accidental fall, beyond any cameras or media.
I guess the Cardinals were even surprised that he made it over to third, so they had to appeal. Rios pops it up left side. Roland will give it a look, but it's out of play. Contrast in styles when we're talking about the two third basemen here tonight, Al.
Well, when one's hustling all the way on the base paths, this guy, he's got an extra base hit, and does he want it? Well, you never embarrass yourself if you hustle.
0-2 on Rios. Armando Rios made a real nice play 2 nights ago in right field. Former San Francisco Giant. Luther is working from the windup with Ramirez at third. Rios has been battling a couple of knee injuries, and he pulls it to second. That's good enough to score the run. And it's a 5-2 game. RBI for Armando Rios, number 13. Brings in Heisdu with 2 outs and nobody on. Boy, it'd be nice to just get one more out and get Luther through 6.
And then decide what you want to do. I'm sure that Tony would say 6 innings is fine.
Against the Cardinals, Heisdu had 2 home runs, both of them 3-run shots, and 7 RBIs in a game earlier this year, and also in that same series he had a grand slam.
It was off of Bud Smith. Tonight can't throw him a strike.
And we will not see Bud Smith over the weekend. He is with the AAA affiliate for the Phillies.
He's been shut down too. Got tendonitis. His pitching arm.
That's a 3rd walk that Hackman has handed out to Adam Heisdu. And in the ball game, that's number 5. So 5 walks by Luther. He's only allowed, though, 2 hits.
And that's it for Luther. Go right to the bullpen right now. Luther's in line. 89 pitches.
Yep.
Yeah, 89 pitches, and it's in line for the victory, but I think it would have been a lot sweeter if he would have gotten that last man.
Nonetheless, good outing by Luther. Hackman. 5 2/3, and the Cardinals up 5-2. Back to PNC Park in Pittsburgh. Good outing by Hackman. 5 2/3, 89 pitches thrown. Luther only allowed 2 hits, but he did walk 5, and the walks certainly were not a bright spot for him. 3 of those walks handed out to Adam Heisdu, but Hackman is in line for the victory. Here's Gabe Molina. His contract was purchased from Memphis AAA yesterday by the ball club. There he was 5-4 with a team leading 11 saves. His ERA was 2.22 in the Pacific Coast League. He also had 54 appearances for Memphis. He's been in the major leagues before with Atlanta and Baltimore. 27-year-old from Denver, Colorado, Gabe Molina.
This is his 32nd major league game. And first time since 2000 he's been in the big leagues.
First man he sees is Pokey Reese.
And Pokey now knows his name. A little excited, and Pokey, good thing he's a good limbo guy.
Molina was in Calgary all last season of the PCL AAA Pacific Coast League. Began the season in relief but was converted to a starter. Made a career high 16 starts. Tony La Russa was saying we could see him stretched out a bit here tonight. Couple innings out of Molina. Needs strikes. It's 3-0.
He's here because Matt Duff could not throw strikes the other night. And Tony's assuming he's going to do that. That's why he talked in terms of stretching him out.
4 straight to Pokey Reese. Now the tying run will come to the plate. It'll be a pinch hitter. It looks like it's going to be Rob Makoviak. It is. So 6 walks handed out by Hackman and now Molina combined. And Rob Makoviak will be the hitter, and this guy's got some pop. First and second, 2 down. Tino Martinez walking over to Gabe Molina, trying to calm him down a bit. 4 straight balls to Pokey Reese, and now the tying run comes to the plate in Makoviak, who has played center field the past 3 nights. Off the bench here this evening. That wasn't even close.
Well, we tried to calm him down. Now go threaten him.
Makoviak was 0 for 3 last night. Picked up a couple of homers his last few games, last week or so. That's 6 straight balls out of the bullpen by Gabe Molina. Nobody up in the Cardinal bullpen.
See Tony.
That's going to change.
Yeah. There's one way to get a manager mad at you. That's not throwing strikes.
Here comes a 3-0. A strike on the outside corner. Now he's got a chance to battle back. Right-hander is up and throwing in the Cardinal bullpen.
Joseph, Kevin Joseph.
Full count. Let's see if he can come all the way back. Runners will be off with the pitch. Here's the 3-2. He walked him. Bases loaded. And here comes Dave Duncan. Molina has walked 2. We saw the 9th inning the other night become an adventure for Tony La Russa and the Cardinals. They had to use 4 relievers and had to get Isringhausen up in a save situation because relievers couldn't throw strikes.
And one was demoted because of it. And that's one of those things. Yeah, you can be a little excited, adrenaline is pumping, but you know, once you throw the first pitch or two, it's just like where you've been. And that's why I feel that the new ballpark in Memphis is such a great training ground because it's a big league atmosphere. So you can't say, wow, you know, you went from one of these truly minor league parks, you know, and not used to having. They have crowds this big there at Memphis.
Sure, they average 15,000 there. Here's Kendall and a ball. Kendall has reached on an error by Roland, his first as a Cardinal, rounded out to third and flied out to right. His next hit will be hit number 1,000 in his career. No grand slams though in his career. 1 ball, 1 strike. Molina has been all over the place. Here's the 1-1 with the bases loaded. In there for a strike. 2 breaking balls in there that he's gotten ahead in the count there.
He's overthrowing the fastball, so DeFelice trying to do whatever he can to get a strike.
On 1-2, Kendall chops it towards third. Roland has a force at second. There's Vina, and Molina gets out of the inning. Pirates get a run, and it's 5-2. Congratulations to Terry Brennicky, today's merchandise prize winner in the Hyundai Long Drive Inning Sweepstakes. If the Cardinals hit a home run here in the 7th, Terry Brennicky will qualify for the grand prize drawing for a Hyundai Santa Fe. At the end of the baseball season, to register, visit a St. Louis area Hyundai dealer to complete an entry form. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of the game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinal Baseball is a production of Bud Sports in association with Fox Sports Net. Fine crew, our thanks to them here in Pittsburgh. Of course, Tom Mee, Lindsey Polite, Doug Stanton, and Kent Samuel with us in our Bud Sports crew. Al Raboski, Dan McLaughlin. Bean takes a strike from Joe Beimel. He is the new pitcher, lefty, taking over here in the 7th for the Pirates. He surrendered 2 hits and a run to the Cardinals on Monday. close the book on Luther Hackman. 5 2/3, 2 runs, 2 hits through 89 pitches, 2 strikeouts and 5 walks. Cardinals lead it 5-2. Bina pulls it foul.
Beimel was not available to face the Cardinal hitters the last couple nights. Warming up on Monday night, he dug his fingernail into his pitching finger, or into his hand, and had a cut there. That
Bina sticks the bat out, but Pokey Reese is there. And Bina is struggling a bit. He's 0 for 4.
He's got hitting a lot of balls in the air of late. It's more obvious the other night, and he did get a night off.
Here's J.D. Drew. He's 0 for 3. One out here in the 7th. Nobody on. Cardinals leading it by 3 runs. Chicago went over Houston 6-4. San Diego beat the Mets 5-3. It's in the 8th inning. Los Angeles on top of Montreal 1-0. We'll see Philadelphia tomorrow night. They lead Milwaukee in the 7th 5-0. San Francisco's underway with Atlanta. It's 3-1 Giants. That's in the 3rd. And the big game that we're also keeping an eye on is Arizona. They're leading Cincinnati 6-1. That's in the 6th inning, and they have a chance at a sweep over the Reds at Synergy Field. J.D. Drew has been struggling. And one of the things that stands out is that with Polanco gone, that number 2 spot is very, very important. And the Cardinals now really haven't found a guy to fit the niche for that prototypical number 2 hitter.
No, they haven't. But, you know, Tony's been kind of shifting J.D. or Renteria there. And you can ask him, and he'll come with a very logical reason as to which one he does each time. But you know, after the first time you go through the order, you know, they kind of lose the balance of and if the leadoff man doesn't get on, that second place hitter kind of diminishes his role anyway.
Right. Randy Johnson, by the way, 7th inning, tossing a 1-hitter.
That was the solo home run by Larson.
Edmonds has scored a run here tonight. He's 1 for 3. Chuck Finley tomorrow night for the Cardinals. That's going to be some scene when we arrive in Philadelphia with Scott Rowland and J.D. Drew arriving in town.
But he probably will not start tomorrow night with the left-hander Wolf going. So,
and with the turf as well, you're probably only going to see him maybe start one of those 3 games.
Yeah.
You're watching the Cardinals on WB11 KPLR TV St. Louis and the Cardinals television network as we approach 9 o'clock here in Pittsburgh. 2-2 the count. Albert Pujols is on deck. Let's see if we can get a Hyundai Santa Fe for Terry Brennecke.
Tell you what, Terry would be joining that select company.
Edmonds, ground ball to Wilson. The shortstop picks it, throws, and a 1-2-3 inning for Beimel and the Pirates. We move to the bottom of the 7th, and the Cardinals up 5-2. Dollar More is the largest energy assistance program in the area, helping the needy pay their energy bills. To sign up for the Dollar More program, customers must check the box on their monthly bills, fill out a pledge card, or sign up on the Ameren website at Ameren.com. 20,503 here in Pittsburgh, and Gabe Molina starts things out with a fastball and a strike. He's having trouble locating that fastball, but he does so here to Jack Wilson to start things off in the Pirates half of the 7th. Cardinals up 5-2. Just like that, it's 0-2. Wilson, the table setters. Cardinals 0 for 8. The Pirates 0 for 7. Hitters 1 and 2 in the lineups. Wilson shoots this one into deep right field. Drew back near the wall. He leaps. He's got it. J.D. Drew, nice play in right field.
Very nice play of J.D.
It's 2 nice plays, Al, that he's made right.
Got that speed that he can go back and then jumps up there. 2 hands. Hold on to it so he doesn't eject from his glove when he makes contact with the wall. And then the earlier one where he made a play down into the right field foul line, having to contend with that short wall there. You could flip over.
Here's Brian Giles, a .434 on base percentage. That's 3rd best in the National League. 92 walks. That's also in the top 5. But he's 0 for 2 tonight with a pair of flyouts. Molina was the closer for the Memphis Redbirds for the past 2 months.
Yeah, still having Gene Steckschulte still having shoulder problems down there. He's going to be kicking himself because he would have been recalled at least 3 different times.
At least.
At least.
Tony was asked about that the other day. Was there a problem with Steckschulte the times before? And they said no. We wanted to go to him a number of times. It's just if he's not 100%, we can't have him up here.
Right. And last time I talked to someone, he was still not even throwing.
Right. They shut him down for a while. Another walk by Molina, this time of Giles. That's his 3rd walk, but you don't mind this one as opposed to the other 2. This one is Giles with Ramirez coming up, but the other 2 was a key spot in the game. Ramirez has doubled and scored tonight. He's 1 for 3. Now DeFelice is going to talk it over with Molina. Luther Hackman is in line for the victory. He threw 5 2/3 here tonight, gave up 2 runs and only 2 hits, but the walks really the only downside in his performance tonight, Al, is the Pirates have left 8 and Hackman walked 5.
Almost getting the impression right here is with that walk and activity in the bullpen. See, they're waiting, so they didn't want him to be walking Giles.
Yep.
He may be ticketed right back to Memphis. 3 walks out of 4 batters, and the other one was a line drive off the right field wall.
Tony is motioned towards the bullpen, and that's it for Molina. It's 5-2 St. Louis. This portion of Cardinal baseball on WB11 is brought to you by your local St. Louis area Kia dealers. It's about time everyone had a well-made car. By Auto Tire. For the very best in tires and service, you ought to go to Auto Tire. And by Subway. Come in today and let Subway show you how good a fresh-made sandwich can be. Subway, eat fresh. Point State Park here in Pennsylvania. We welcome you back to PNC Park in Pittsburgh. Gabe Molina, 3 walks, and he's out of the game.
You got two outs. The line drive this inning, the one to finish the 3rd out of the Pirates' 6th.
Now we see Kevin Joseph. Ramirez lines it foul. Steve Klein now is getting loose in the bullpen. Just took to the mound. Wonder about the availability of Dave Veers right now. Mike Matthews is also out there. Ramirez, a high fly ball, but pulls it foul. 0-2.
Just a long fly ball. Foul.
No balls and 2 strikes.
Felice kept on signaling to Joseph to just shake his head before he put down a sign.
Line drive lifted into left field. That's going to fall for a base hit. And Giles will stop at second. So Joseph gives up a base hit, and there's 2 on, and the tying run yet again comes to the plate.
Well, it looked like a slider that was out away from him, but he kind of was looking for it with 2 strikes and hit it hard into left field for the base hit. Second consecutive hit.
He's 2 for 4, also has a double and a run scored.
Joseph faced 2 Pirates the other night in that eventful ninth and did not record an out, a walk and a hit. This guy's got power.
Wilson with 10 home runs. He's the batter. Fastball on the inside corner, a strike. Wilson tonight walked and scored, struck out, and flied out to center. Wilson has been in this organization a long time, acquired from Toronto back in 1996. DeFelice sets up on the outside corner, and it's pulled foul. 0-2. Wilson certainly is a double play candidate. If he pulls it left side, that's going to be a tough turn with Vina playing really up the middle there, Al.
Well, he can do it. It's not as easy.
He's played perfectly there. Vina flips it to Renteria, and that's all they're going to get. That's the second out. And it brings in Armando Rios.
It wasn't hit hard enough for him to get the conventional 2. He flips it back to Renteria. And then Renteria just felt like he was going to throw it away. It wasn't hit hard, so it took a lot of time for it to develop. They get the middle out.
Sometimes what you'll see there is the shortstop throw behind the runner at third base because they anticipate the runner going from second to third, maybe a double play.
Well,
and if he would have done that, Giles had stepped off a couple of steps, and Renteria thought about it right here, Al. He faked, and then boom, you'll see him come into your picture, and if he makes that throw, they might have nipped Giles.
Yeah, but he was well aware of what you're talking about, and he considered it. So there was a reason why he chose not to.
It's 6-1 Arizona over Cincinnati, by the way. That's in the 7th inning.
Seen a lot of times guys throw the ball away trying to be tricky like that too.
This is Armando Rios. High fly ball lifted into right field. Good job by Joseph. Comes in, throws strikes, and gets out of the inning. Drew puts it away. We played 7. It's 5-2. Home field advantage goes to the family arriving at the game in their Ford Windstar, now with $3,500 cash back or 0% APR financing. Ford and your quality Ford stores. Your home run to summer fun. Some good work there, Al, by Kevin Joseph, throwing strikes, and something that this bullpen has not been doing is throwing strikes, and he comes in and does the job and gets out of the bottom of the 7th.
It's a good way to get more time on the mound by coming out there and taking advantage of somebody else's ineffectiveness, showing that you can be effective.
Now you have to wonder, though, a little bit about Dave Veers as we see Kevin Young has been inserted into the game. And if Veers was available here tonight, Albert Pujols will lead it off, and then Roland and Martinez. Craig Wilson moves from first base to right field. And a new pitcher into the ball game for the Pirates. It's Brian Boehringer, the St. Louisan. Pujols, a check swing and a foul ball. He's in the hole, 0-2. He got things started with a solo home run in the 2nd inning. He's lined out to short and picked up a base hit in the hole. He's 2 for 3 here tonight. Boehringer's numbers not bad this season out of the bullpen for Lloyd McClendon. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Albert to the left side. Ramirez can take his time over to Kevin Young. There's one away as we start play here in the 8th. Nobody up and throwing in the Cardinal bullpen as Scott Rowland will step in. Rowland tonight is an RBI base hit. He's 1 for 3. This big third baseman is the league leader in triples, Al. He's picked up a couple with the Cardinals, and he's got 7 on the year.
Yeah, I think it's 3 with the Cardinals, and he's tied, I think, with 7.
One ball, 1 strike on the Cardinal third baseman, Scott Rowland. He fouls it straight back.
Yeah, three triples already with the Cardinals.
And 12 RBIs with the Redbirds.
And you can see why he's tied for the league lead, because he leaves the batter's box thinking extra base hit.
Pulls that one foul.
I think you can get him to chase some balls that are up, but if you throw him strikes that are down, you better have something on it and some movement too.
Here's the 1-2. Well outside to even up the count. Everybody's found that Scott Rowland is one of the more likable guys. We all knew that in the major leagues. I had a chance when he was with the Phillies to do a few interviews with him on the radio side of things, Al, and he talked in glowing terms about the Cardinal fans, and this is 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And with Cliff Polite being on that team, had a chance to socialize a bit with Rowland prior to him coming to St. Louis, and good guy. And I think people are going to find that he's going to be a community-oriented type of guy too.
Well, I think that my first experience with him was before I met him, but Rex Hudler told me what a great guy he was, and then he took me over and introduced me to him. And you know, Rex is the kind of guy that only associates with classy people, and he just raved about this young player, and he has produced.
Tino Martinez looks at a strike. 0-2.
Bowringer and Tino had to be teammates at one time, right?
Yep, with the Yankees when they won a world championship 3 years ago. Well, Bowringer was a guy that pitched in the community college ranks in St. Louis, in the Metro League in St. Louis as a collegiate player, and he strikes out Tino Martinez. A 1-2-3 inning for Bowringer. Bottom of the 8th coming up. And tune in tomorrow night. The return of Rowland on your left and J.D. Drew to the city of brotherly love. Yeah, right. 5:30 tomorrow night on Fox Sports Net. The Cards and Phillies. Game 1 of that 3-game set will come your way at 5:30 tomorrow on Fox Sports Net. Kevin Joseph stays in the game. 3 pitchers used by Tony La Russa. Gabe Molina and Luther Hackman, the other pitchers used. Adam Heisdu hitting .289 is the hitter. And he looks at a ball. Heisdu, Pokey Reese, and Kevin Young, who was part of a double switch last inning, due up for the Pirates. Cardinals have banged out 9 hits. The Pirates only have 3. But it's been the walks. They've left 10 on here tonight. Pittsburgh has. But the walks have really stood out in this game.
8 walks.
5 by Hackman, 3 by Gabe Molina. 2 balls and a strike. Looks like things are starting to get interesting for Randy Johnson and the Diamondbacks. Bases loaded now for Cincinnati, Al.
Well, he hit batter with the bases loaded to make it a 6-2 game. Still bases loaded and 1 out. And that's the 4th walk of the night for Heisdu.
On base 4 times, and with the bases loaded, that game against Arizona, Aaron Boone will be stepping to the plate, and he's been one of the hottest hitters in all the major leagues. He's got a chance at a 30-30 season. Aaron Boone does.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'd become the 3rd
right
Cincinnati Red to do so if he doesn't.
Eric Davis and I think Barry Larkin, the other 2.
Right.
There's a strike to Pokey Reese. But he had a 3 home run night a week ago. He also had a walk-off home run. Pokey Reese tonight, a sac fly RBI.
Got the 8-game hitting streak on the line.
He's tough to double up. Pass rolling, fair ball down that third base line. That'll go into the corner. Heisdu is digging around third. He will score easily, and it's now a 5-3 game. Pokey Reese extends the hit streak, and his second RBI tonight. It's 5-3 Cardinals.
Pokey's been swinging that hot bat, and when you can do it out of that 8 slot, you know, it just helps the manager keep the balance of his attack going. Part of the double switch brought in Kevin Young, and he will be the batter batting in the 9th spot now. Was not guarding the line, and there's an off-speed pitch, pulls it, and Rowan really didn't have much of a chance where he was playing defensively.
He was also way in, even with the bag. So some anxious moments here for Tony La Russa and the Cardinals. More action now and activity in that Cardinal bullpen as Klein is up and throwing for the second time.
And Tony, slow walk out there. Looks like he will go to his veteran, and seen enough of the kids.
So a walk to Heisdu, comes around to score. After the double by Pokey Reese, Kevin Joseph is done. And Steve Klein will be the 4th pitcher used in this 5-3 ball game. Well, here's Steve Klein appearing for the 44th time this year. He allowed a home run to Brian Giles in the series on Monday night, the first he had given up to a left-handed batter in 131 games since joining the Cardinals. Wednesday, last night, an inning pitched, and really what was a key spot in the game last night too. He got 3 outs very efficiently and got out of the inning.
I think it's also says something that they bring in Steve Klein, you know, to face a right-handed batter.
Right.
You had a right-hander out there, but they just want his experience and his ability to throw strikes.
Young is hitting .245. This will be his first plate appearance of the night. Part of a double switch 2 innings ago. First pitch by Klein. Base hit into right. Reese being waved home. He will score. And JD misses the cutoff, moving up.
Bad.
It's Young to second base. The last thing that you want to have happen is that tying run have a chance to move up on the play, and that's exactly what took place.
Bad throw, JD. One, Pokey Reese has great speed. There's no way you're going to throw him out. That ball's not even right at you. You've got to go to your right to get it. And then you come in here and look at, you didn't even anticipate. You didn't come up throwing right away. You try and make that throw, and you had the double play in order, and now you let it get away.
And here's Kendall. It's now a 1-run St. Louis lead. That run's charged against Joseph. Kendall takes a strike. 0 for 4 tonight. Did reach on an error. Rollins first as a Cardinal back in the 5th. Nobody out. Pulled foul. The air has been kind of taken out of the sails of the Cardinals. Jumped out to an early lead. Pounding the Pirates pitching.
Well, it's one of those situations with all the walks that you brought in a couple young pitchers. They walked people, and you allowed the Pirates to think that Cardinals didn't want the win and let them back in this ball game. And we've seen that they're a team that will keep on swinging the bats.
Here comes the 0-2 from Klein. This is low and away.
And offensively, we've shut things down too.
Right. 9 walks handed out by the Cardinals here tonight. 5 by Hackman, 3 by Molina, and 1 by Joseph. It's going to be up to Klein. Nobody warming up in the Cardinal bullpen. Kendall got a piece. Steve would love a strikeout. He has struck out 30 in his 35 innings pitched this year. A little better than 7 every 9 innings. Here's a 1-2. Kevin Young is at second base. He represents the tying run. Kendall pulls it foul.
Kendall's one of those guys that doesn't strike out a lot, so he doesn't always look pretty swinging, but he usually gets a little piece of it.
Two and two the count. And Klein can keep this a 5-4 game. We'll see about the availability of Isringhausen and that Cardinal bullpen. Pulled left side and foul. We'll do it again. Pretty good battle here with Kendall and Klein. It was 0-2. Now it's a full count. This crowd of 20,000 plus trying to come alive a bit. He walked him.
3-2 pitch, and it's low.
It's now 10 walks handed out by the Cardinals here tonight. And it's first and second. Wilson will be the batter. Nobody out. A 1-run Cardinal lead.
That's it. The Cardinals still have a lead, and all the things that have happened. You got the guy that is the best, has the most sacrifices in the National League at the plate.
He's got 14 on the year.
He had 17 a year ago. A lot of things can happen.
He rips it into left field. That gets down. It's a base hit. Pujols will get it back in. And the bases will be loaded. Giles against Klein.
So that wasn't, you would think that they probably wouldn't do it, but you have to think defensively the possibility. But the last thing you wanted was the base hit to bring in their best hitter. And really Ramirez, his best month of his career is August, and he's having a good month here. So they're really going to have to work hard to keep this lead down.
30 home runs on the year for Giles, Al. And Klein has given up a base hit, a walk, and now another base hit. And the bases are loaded. Nobody out. And really the game on the line right here. First pitch is strike. He got Giles now. The other time in this series. So Giles has not had great success against Steve Klein. Just 1 for 10 in that home run on Monday.
And he had 2 good sliders against him.
That's right.
And then he hung one. Well, he had him 0-2.
Or you could get Giles here and then a double play from Ramirez. He's on deck. 2 balls and a strike. Mike Matthews is throwing now in the Cardinal bullpen.
Giles, 239 hitter against left-hand pitching, 317 against righties, 300 average with runners in scoring position.
High drive right field going back. That's J.D. Drew. Plenty deep enough. And the game is tied. Giles ties it up with the RBI. His 78th on the year. It's 5-5. And tagging up on the play very wisely, Jason Kendall. So he stands at third base, and Ramirez with a sac fly could give Pittsburgh their first lead of the night.
Intentionally pass him to load the bases. So runners at first and third, and they're going to intentionally pass him to load the bases to pitch to Craig Wilson. Pick your poison.
Ramirez had a double and a single his last 2 times up. He was 2 for 4 on the night.
11 walks now the Cardinal pitching staff has allowed.
You just can't expect to win if you do that.
No. But you have a chance.
Now Dave Duncan is going to talk it over with Klein.
You got to get out of this inning, though, with it still being tied. You see Mike Matthews throwing. So they're going to go out there and kind of go about how they want to get him out. Wilson is 1 for 3 with a walk tonight.
Inning started with a Cardinal 5-2 lead. Kevin Joseph was the pitcher, and he walked the first man, Heisdu. Pokey Reese got a double off of Joseph just past Rowland down that third base line. That scored Heisdu. And a base hit by Young. 2 runs had plated. And J.D. Drew decided to throw home, moving the runner up. A walk to Kendall, base hit by Wilson, bases loaded, and Giles gets the sac fly to tie it up. 3 runs here in the 8th inning, and it's 5-5.
Let's get right back here. This is the matchup. Only 1 out. Craig Wilson, who came in tonight batting .400 with 4 home runs and 7 RBIs in 10 games this month. 0 for 3 tonight with a walk and run score.
Bases loaded, just 1 out. Here we go. Klein against Craig Wilson. He has walked and scored the first run of the game for the Pirates back in the 2nd. Struck out, fly to center, and a fielder's choice in the 7th. Ground ball. Renteria. Vina double play. They got it. They get out of the inning. It stays a 5-5 game. We'll head to the 9th. Coming up, Renteria, DeFelice, and a pinch hitter for St. Louis. Steve Klein gets the double play off the bat of Craig Wilson, but it is 5-5. The Cardinals have walked 11. Folks, 11 batters they have walked tonight. And despite only giving up 6 hits, this game is tied at 5-5. The closer, and we haven't seen him yet in this series, Mike Williams will take over, appearing for the 44th time. His save last Friday. Williams tied the club record, his 34th of the season. So he will try to get 3 outs here in the 9th, and then the Pirates will go back to work in the bottom half. Also, Nunez is into the game playing shortstop. So Williams will hit in that 2nd spot that was occupied by Jack Wilson.
Well, we thought we had enough offense, but we need to get to double figures in hits and maybe in runs too.
Williams doesn't really have that overpowering stuff, but pretty good changeup, and he's been very effective.
Got a splitter.
That's right.
It's an all-star. And
Renteria pulls it to Ramirez. Knocked down. Throw to first. Safe at first is Renteria.
it's an error on a, it's a sharply hit ball, but right at the third baseman. Boy, you just can't do that in a tie game at the 9th inning.
That's the 16th error on Ramirez and the 3rd, Al, in this series against the Cardinals.
Well, you make that misplay right there, it should cost you the ball game.
So Kerry Robinson will be the pinch hitter for DeFelice after Renteria reaches on the air.
Gary has got a couple pinch hits in this season, in this series.
Let's see if he'll be asked to bunt Renteria over to second. With his speed, some of the best speed on the club.
Well, you look at it too, though. Look at defensively. They got to hold the runner on to first. Ramirez way in at third. They're playing back like double play depth in the middle. So I mean, you could slash a ball and take off. As I said, Kerry's 2 for 2 with an RBI in 2 pinch hitting appearances in this season, in this series. Doesn't. You may think you're going to sacrifice, but because of that speed, you just don't know.
Right. Renteria is running. The pitch is grounded. Foul. You see the runs by inning in this series for the Cardinals. Cardinals plated 1 in the 2nd on a solo home run by Albert Pujols. Another in the 6th inning, 1 there. And then 3 in the 8th.
Now the Cardinals have got 1 in the 2nd and 4 in the 6th for their 5 runs.
I was talking about the Pirates.
Our graphic was talking.
I know it was, but I'm just explaining how the Pirates got back into the game.
Okay.
Either way, let's move up Renteria to second and not worry about it.
No,
lots of runs in this series.
Drive him home.
The check on Edgar.
Well, the cat and mouse game is take a little of the spring and life out of Renteria's legs by throwing over, but also to try and detect if Kerry gives away some kind of strategy or the bunt at home plate.
He attempted, and it's 0-2.
Like the delay tactics messed up Kerry. Trying to go after a terrible delivery.
Mike Williams has turned 34 in late July. Traded to Houston at the deadline, then signed as a free agent back with the Pirates this offseason.
That was one of the added benefits of that Ritchie trade, is they saved enough money to re-sign their closer, Mike Williams.
Robinson lifts it into center. That's a base hit. Renteria will stop at second, and Eli Marrero will be the pinch hitter.
Well, nice going, Kerry. 3 for 3. Very difficult as a pinch hitter. That's his 10th pinch hit of the year, and they're just that slash and run, because this was a line drive and Renteria wasn't sure if it was going to get over the head of the shortstop Nunez. He kind of had to hold his ground and couldn't really take advantage of it and go to third base.
Eli Marrero will be the pinch hitter for St. Louis. He'll hit for Steve Klein. Now you would figure Eli Marrero would be bunting in this situation, and I guess Klein, Tony La Russa is figuring, can't do that. So a pinch hit here for Marrero, or with Marrero for Klein, and see what kind of activity happens in the bullpen for the Cardinals. No one is up and throwing just yet.
And Tony gives his pitchers more time to hit. It's their starters. And
Right.
A lot of relievers don't even ever go bunt or even swing the bat at all. So you might as well go out here. And I still think when you've got the weapon, the speed of Marrero, and you've got this situation, the defense, you may switch off 2 or 3 different times what the strategy may be. With the pitcher, you know what it's going to be, and you're worried about him,
Right.
Into a double play.
Eli gets it down. It is rolling and foul.
Oh,
Wow. Not by much.
if that had been something, if that would have hit the bag. Lets it roll, and it wasn't until they got to about the cutout that it turned and went foul.
Fernando Vina is on deck.
There's an awful lot of movement going on in that with those infielders.
2 sacrifices for Eli on the season, 4 bunt hits. The way that Ramirez has been playing and the way that Eli runs, he'll make a play close.
Watch, because they're trying to design a play to where they can get the lead runner at third base, but everybody's kind of moving around, and there are a lot of hitting holes.
Pulled left side, base hit. Renteria is going to score. Robinson moving up to third. That's exactly what happened, what you're talking about there. All the movement with the shortstop late and getting over. That was Nunez going over to cover third. The third baseman, Ramirez, charging, and it found a hole.
Well, they sent the runners.
Right.
So, I mean, just a great play. This is a beautiful play and works the perfect execution. They're looking for the bunt. The shortstop's going to get the lead man out there. And why was Ramirez ducking? I guess he assumed that, okay, because my shortstop's coming to third base, he's going to be able to make a spectacular play over there, stop in mid-direction, dive, do whatever, go up, and, I'll do whatever. But watch your third baseman. He comes in as a high chopper. Why is he ducking?
His error is what has started everything off, too.
His error has scored.
Here's Vina. Ground ball up the middle. Pokey Reese gets to it. They get 1, but a run will score. That's Robinson. The Cardinals have themselves a 2-run lead. They've done it against one of the best closers in the game in Mike Williams.
Well, they've done it with some help of the defense. And sometimes that closer isn't at fault. He's getting the ground balls, and some great strategy where Tony, in maybe bunting situations for 90% of the clubs, and because of the versatility of the hitters he sent up and their speed, Carey gets to swing away, gets a base hit. Eli, they put the hit and run on. Runners both taking off. Everyone coming in, and they punch down on it and get an extra base, get the hit and RBI.
Looks like Isringhausen is up and throwing in the Cardinal bullpen. 1 out, and here's J.D. Drew. Vina with the RBI, 43rd on the year.
Yeah, this is one of those games that you lose this one, and I think you and I will just walk to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So I think pull out the stops again. You bring in Isringhausen, and you're even hoping that it's not a save situation when he comes in, because you get a couple more runs.
Drew is 0 for 4 tonight, and hitting .258 on the year. Hit a couple of nice plays, though, defensively for St. Louis here tonight. Pirates are on the verge of being swept here in Pittsburgh for the first time since 1971 in a 4-game set by the Cardinals. Fought their way back in this one, and now Wind has got to be taken out of their sails after what's happened.
Well, normally, as the momentum should have been in the Pirates side, and sign of a good ball club is for you to ignore that momentum switcher and come back and take it away and take what could have been a devastating loss and turn it into a victory.
Two balls and a strike on Drew. Two hits in the inning, an error, as Williams is preoccupied with Vigna. Two balls and a strike on JD, and he takes another ball. And Williams is not sharp. All started with an error by the third baseman Ramirez, his third error in this series, number 16 on the year. And a walk to JD Drew. He walks. And it brings in Jim Edmonds, third man in the order for Tony La Russa.
So you want to be a big league manager, huh? There's a disclaimer in there. Big league manager with a lot of talent. What you want to be.
Or guys that play hard.
Oh, talent and guys that want to win and play hard.
Here's Edmonds. Jim is sitting on 23 home runs. Nunez, Heisdu, and Pokey Reese for the Pirates in their half of the ninth. Jim has a single, and he's also scored. First and second here with one out. Albert Pujols is on deck. And Isringhausen is getting set to go in that bullpen. Could be save number 28 here tonight. Ball and two strikes.
Yeah, of all the walks we've seen here, it just seems like there really haven't been that many close pitches.
No.
It's not the umpire.
Williams is set. Here it comes to Edmonds. Line drive up the middle. That's a base hit. They're going to wave the man home. This is Vigna play at the plate. Ball gets away. Third run in this inning. Runners move up. RBI for Edmonds. RBI number 65 for the Cardinals center fielder. And it brings in Albert Pujols with a chance to add to this 3-run lead.
Another frozen rope right back up the middle. His second hit of the night. There's Heisdu's throw come up here. If you could just see this guy's playing behind Mike Williams with all the head fakes, all the taking his time out there, that his defense is way back on their heels.
They will intentionally pass Pujols to bring up Scott Rolen with one out and load the bases up.
I was noticing that Lloyd McClendon has intentionally passed an awful lot of guys this year.
And in this series as well.
Yeah, in this series, but
runs by inning for the St. Louis Cardinals in this series. This is the damage they have done. Total of 34. And 3 of those 4 here in this 9th inning. It's an awful lot of runs for a 4-game series. 34.
Pirates have intentionally passed 74 runners this year, or batters. Cardinals 27.
Here's Roland. Into shallow center, backing up. Pokey Reese, he's got it. That's the second out. Two away, and it's up to Tino Martinez.
Well, they scored 3 runs on the Cardinals in the bottom of the 8th. The Cardinals have come back, got 3 in the 9th. Only 1 is earned, and right now it is still a save situation. So it all hinges on what Tino does.
2 outs, bases loaded. Tino's no stranger to the grand slam.
He's hit at least 1 in 7 straight seasons.
That's right.
9 total.
It's in the 9th now, and it's 7-2 Arizona over Cincinnati. Tino, a drive into right center field. That ball is going to get down, and here they're all going to come in. Tino's going to clear the bases. 3 runs score, and the Cardinals have busted this one wide open against the closer of the Pirates, Mike Williams. And Tino, folks, is starting to come alive. That's 4 RBIs on the night.
58 for him. You know, you just watch Mike Williams' mannerisms, like he doesn't even want to be out there. Gets that pitch out away from him. Another solid ball hit out into the gap.
It's 11-5.
I told you we had to get into double figures in
You were right. Now here's Renteria. Second time that he has stepped to the plate in this 9th inning. He started things out when he hit a hard hit ball to Ramirez, the third baseman, and an error was charged against him. Edgar into deep left field. Giles going back at the wall. He is there, and he makes the play. Good play by Giles. We head to the bottom of the 9th. 6 runs in this 9th inning. It's 11-5. It's 11-5. Cardinals played 6 in the 9th to untie the game. It's 11-5. Here's our Bud Light play of the great game, and it's a double play with the bases loaded, 1 out, and a tie ball game off the bat of Wilson, and this got the Cardinals out of that 8th inning. And a huge momentum swing in this game to get that double play, and that's our Bud Light play of the game.
You know, that was not that easy of a double play for Renteria. He had to contend with the runner coming by him. He had to contend with an in-between hop. He fields the ball in front of the second base bag, has to flip it back to Vigna.
And then, as we talk about momentum swinging, how about this? The first hitter in the top of the 9th. A ground ball that should have been eaten up by Ramirez. He makes an error. The 3rd error this series that he's made. Renteria would reach base, come around to score. And now it's 11-5. Isringhausen in a non-safe situation. This is probably the only negative that you can think about, is that he has to come in now. And he was a little uncertain as to whether or not he'd be available here tonight, Al. So going into that Philadelphia series, you wonder about his availability.
Yeah, that's a good point, because it wasn't because of the line drive off the wrist. It's just because of how much he's thrown of late.
There's Abraham Nunez, 3 hits in his last 6 at-bats.
3 consecutive games for Isringhausen.
Gary Robinson stays in the game. He will play left field. He had a key base hit in that top of the 9th, and Eli Marrero stays in the game behind the plate. High fly ball into left center field. Edmonds has it for out number 1. The Cardinals are on the verge of a 4-game sweep here in Pittsburgh.
Lloyd can't be real happy. He's seen his team. They're on the verge of losing 6 straight games 8 of their last 9, 10 of their last 12. Last inning, when they were at the plate, they were at the top steps. They were cheering on their guys as they tied it up, and now they're hanging their heads.
That's Craig Wilson right there, who hit into that double play. You wonder what's going through his mind right now. This is Heisdu.
There's a guy that does care right there. He never would have made that catch to end the inning for a long run into the deepest part of left center.
You're watching the Cardinals on WB11 KPLR TV St. Louis. Heisdu has walked 4 times here tonight, and it's a lazy fly into right. There's J.D. Drew, and there's 2 outs. Cardinals 1 away from a sweep. Pretty efficient inning so far for Isringhausen as well.
Yeah, that's the most important factor to me, is to go out there and after you warmed up and everything, and a lot of times it's beneficial to go in and finish the inning, but the last thing you want is to have one where he throws 30 pitches.
A win here tonight. The Cardinals move 4 in front of the Houston Astros and 5.5 in front of Cincinnati. They're down 7-2. That's in the 9th. Houston has already lost. No balls and a strike on Pokey Reese. Blew it by him. 95 from Izzy. Pirates down to their final strike. It's been 31 years since the Cardinals have swept the Pirates in a 4-game set here in Pittsburgh.
And what you like too is go to Philadelphia, win a few more, and then take these guys on where there's still fresh memory of being shellacked by the Cardinals at home. Don't take them lightly, but go through them.
14 games with these Pirates and Phillies. 14 straight we're in the midst of. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Isringhausen. There's a sweep. Eli holds on. Izzy. And the Cardinals win it 11-5.
Victory here today. Now the Cardinals are playing .500 baseball, 30-30 on the road, and they pick up games in the standings.
The 66th victory for the Cardinals, a 4-game sweep. 11-5 our final. Back to wrap it up in a moment. Cardinals baseball on WB11 was brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste, it won't fill you up and never lets you down. Make it a Bud Light. By Southwest Airlines, bringing people together with lower fares. By your local St. Louis Chrysler Jeep dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Cardinals on WB11. And by Dobbs Tire and Auto Center, St. Louis's #1 choice for tires and automotive service. First time in 31 years the Cardinals have taken a 4-game series with a sweep over the Bucs. They do so in convincing fashion tonight, 11-5. Cards and Phillies tomorrow on Fox Sports Net. For Al, I'm Dan. We'll see you tomorrow.